In a sudden turn of events, we may have ourselves a big time tornado outbreak on our hands, guys. We have already had a tornado today in North Dakota, and a tornado warning remains in effect for the same storm that produced it for portions of Sioux County. If you're included in this tornado warning, seek shelter immediately. On the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows in an interior room. We did have a strong tornado potentially earlier near Selfridge in North Dakota here. Alright, if we take a look at the correlation coefficient, let's see if we had a drop. I just did unfortunately get home, so I haven't been able to go live until now, but it is very likely that, again, we did have a confirmed tornado at least, maybe even a couple, but it's a very good possibility that that tornado was on the stronger side of things. Things have gotten upgraded from the SPC since we last spoke. Enhanced risk now for portions of the Dakotas, alright? We do have that 5% tornado risk as well going out for portions of North and South Dakota. The reason we have that enhanced risk, though, is not for tornadoes or damaging winds, it's for the hail threat. We are talking about very large hail, potentially up to softball size across a small swath of North and South Dakota here today, so make sure to look out for that. We've also got a secondary risk back into the Ohio Valley, but we're mainly going to be focused here on portions of the Dakotas today, as again, we are seeing very, very nasty storms right now. Again, unfortunately, this is as early as I could have gone live for, but, I mean, look at this, guys. We had a huge tornado earlier, potentially, with this storm. Again, I mean, that is not the kind of radar imagery that you see very often, if at all in North Dakota. I mean, this just does not happen up here this far north. So the only reason that this storm isn't still producing a tornado, most likely, and even a strong tornado, is because we had a cell merger bump it. If that cell merger didn't come through and push this storm away, not necessarily push it away, but kind of nudge in the hook echo, we very well could have a very strong and damaging tornado on the ground. But again, luckily that's not the case. However, we are saying just absolutely textbook supercells right now across parts of North Dakota. Again, that is, I mean, as crazy of a look as you will ever get on radar from a storm in North Dakota. This is absolutely nuts. Again, unfortunately, I was not able to go live when this happened. I know it's a shame, but these things always happen at the worst time, you know, and then whenever I am able to go live, things manage to calm down. So that's just exciting. But anyway, again, we have had a very, very serious situation ongoing here, and again, that tornado that we did have earlier today could have been on the stronger side of things for sure. Fun fact, this is also the anniversary of the famous South Dakota tornado outbreak, where we had the first ever recorded picture of a tornado, or it's thought to be. There have been other photos that could have been from earlier months, but it's one of the first tornado photos of all time, and it was definitely one of the strongest tornadoes ever captured back then. But let me go ahead and pull up stream chat here. If anybody has any questions about their location, feel free to leave those down below. These cells are bunching up a little bit, and that could decrease the tornado threat with some of these storms. However, again, I would not be surprised to see a couple more tornadoes later into the evening time. Again, you will not see this in North Dakota almost ever, not ever again, but you're not going to see that in North Dakota for a long time, I'll tell you that much. That is just a crazy looking supercell. Again, velocities, I mean, these were very, very concerning just moments ago, guys. We were talking, 15 minutes ago, we could have still had a very strong tornado, but again, that cell merger did come through and luckily destroy this thing. So again, if you're just not tuning in, we are watching some massive supercells developing across parts of the Dakotas. We're going to be watching these cells up here further to the north for the next cells to produce tornadoes, especially this one near Solon. It looks like it's trying to hook out, so we'll see what happens there. But, again, it's been pretty wild thus far, and I think it's going to continue to be wild here over the next couple of hours. Again, a tornado watch now in effect for portions of the Dakotas here. This tornado watch specifying the threat for a few tornadoes possible. Alright, scattered large hail and isolated very large hail to large apple size likely, and scattered damaging winds to 70 miles per hour likely. Just give me 1 minute here. Again, a very, very dangerous and potent severe weather outbreak right now, getting going in portions of the Dakotas. Again, we're talking about the threat for strong tornadoes today, guys. Strong tornadoes. Again, it did not originally look like that would be a threat for today at all, but these supercells managed to become discrete. And again, especially this one near Selfridge, I'm very concerned. It looked like we had a very strong tornado, but luckily that's the only one we've had so far, the only confirmed one we've had so far anyway. But again, velocity couplets do not get that impressive very often in North Dakota. That's crazy. That is insane. I mean, that tornado was honestly probably pretty close to going PDS. I'm going to be real with you guys. That is insane. But again, these cells are going to continue to fire off here. We gotta hope that these cluster up together, because again, that's the only thing that killed this last cell that produced the tornado, was this cell merger from down south. We gotta hope that that continues to happen, or else we could definitely see another tornado or two later this evening. So, looks like we may have some sort of rotation trying to get going near Lincoln, South Dakota, or sorry, North Dakota. That's near Bismarck. So we're going to watch out for that. Again, this event really went on an upwards trend quite quickly. I mean, originally this was looking to be a less significant severe weather outbreak, but now we're talking about the potential for a full-blown tornado outbreak. And again, we've only had one tornado so far, so I don't want to be too dramatic. But I would not be surprised to see another couple of tornadoes here over the next couple of hours. In fact, I think we're starting to get into the peak time frame here for the likelihood of tornadoes. And again, very large hail and damaging winds as well. And again, this storm is still rotating. I want to make that clear. We could definitely still have a tornado on the ground with this, so make sure that you are getting to your safe spot. Again, it's less likely than it was earlier. Earlier, it was confirmed. Now, it's just speculation, however. Again, I'd still be watching this. It looks like this could have been a debris signature here just a little bit ago. Again, that was a very crazy looking supercell there for North Dakota. Especially for a specific couple of radar scans. But again, things are getting quite wild out here. Radar is down. What radar? None of our North Dakota ones are. Or our South Dakota ones. Again, this storm here near Solon looks like it's trying to hook out a little bit, so we'll watch to see if that tries to rotate. We should get a new velocity scan very soon. We haven't gotten a velocity update for... Oh! Okay. I see what you're talking about now. Thank you. I did not even realize we were looking 15-minute-old data. Wow. Alright, thank you. That's really unfortunate, though, because now we're not going to know what's really going on up here towards Bismarck with these spots of rotation. That is really unfortunate. Yeah, that's not good. Oh, that's really not good. Again, this is going to be pretty bad. I don't know why the radar's down. It's not severe weather related, I don't think. But this was a very bad time for that to happen. So these storms that we're looking at really could be full-blown supercells by now. Let's look at the northern North Dakota radar. Yeah, I got a storm trying to hook out near Washburn. Yeah, these are some nasty storms, again, especially considering the fact that we don't have radar coverage. Luckily, Connor Crofts on our storm. That's Tornado 1. Again, the one that previously produced a potentially strong tornado. Look at that. Wow. He's got over 100 people watching on the Radar Omega app alone. For North Dakota, not too shabby. Yeah, that's really bad that the radar site's gone down here in Bismarck. Again, we are talking about one of the worst times for that to possibly happen. Again, I don't think it's severe weather related. Again, while the tornado threat's mostly decreased with this storm here that originally produced the strong tornado near Fort Yates, it's still going to produce large hail and damaging winds for quite a while. In fact, golf ball-sized hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds are both a possibility, so make sure at the very least that you are getting indoors and away from windows immediately. And again, if you're in the tornado warning, we want you to seek shelter as soon as possible. in an interior room. Wow. So, some rotation near wing now, it looks like. Is that rotation? No. Never mind. It could be. Again, the rotation near Bismarck here looks pretty concerning as well. So again, I'd watch for this storm to potentially get tornado warned near wing. It looks like contamination, though. So let's see here. Dude, that's so annoying that that radar sight's down. Will you be streaming tomorrow? I'm asking around due to the fact that a lot of people are saying they won't be streaming tomorrow. I will be streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow actually does look relatively significant. Not for much of a tornado threat, but we do have a slight risk of severe weather in the Midwest. 2% tornado risk is in place. Again, damaging winds and large hail will be the main threats, though. But yes, we will be live here on this channel covering that event quite thoroughly. And then we'll also be here on Friday, where we've got a marginal risk for portions of the Great Lake regions. Kind of the leftovers of tomorrow's event, per se. That made no sense, I'm sorry. I don't know why I said per se. Anyway. Dude, I really hope that's not rotation. Again, it's so hard to tell. If we just had the Bismarck radar, everything would be perfect right now. I mean, it is right smack dab in the middle of all this action. But unfortunately, the radar data is 20 minutes outdated. Because of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? So again, Connor Croft and Corey Gherkin on our supercell here that previously produced a potentially strong tornado. Look at that. Wow. Very electrified storms, by the way. Yeah, I mean, if the radar's down on Omega, it's going to be down everywhere. It's not a radar Omega issue. But again, that's really unfortunate. Oh, wait, it's back. It's back. We just got a new scan. Okay, thank goodness. It was just taking so long for some reason. The velocities haven't updated, but reflectivity has. So, the velocities will update any minute. CC updated? Yep. Alrighty. So, there we go. Your fellow weather YouTuber. Yes, the radar was down, and it just came back. So, there we go. At this point, though, there's no rotation really anywhere to watch super closely. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. But that's all the way into Illinois. So, Randolph County now, Sparta, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. Make sure you are moving indoors immediately. So back up here towards our Selfridge storm again, tornado warn now. Dude, that's annoying we lost all that radar data. Yeah, I was really worried the radar went out entirely, but it was just taking so long for some reason to send in a scan. Yeah, do not trust any of those free Radar Omega things. Those are all viruses And you could probably get in trouble for pirated software if one actually did work. But yeah. So, Mr. Storm, again, if you're just now tuning in, we had a strong tornado on the ground for a little bit here in North Dakota. If we take it back, I mean, look at that supercell. Again, a North Dakota supercell looking absolutely nuts. I mean, this was probably the craziest scan right here. This is not something you ever see in North Dakota really at all. And this is what makes me think that this was a strong tornado. And again, the velocities were impressive, and it looked like we had a clear CC drop. But again, I mean, just look at that. Raider Omega on an anti-piracy screen. You had a special weather statement earlier. Yeah, for the most part, we're going to be focusing on the Dakotas and, again, a little bit on the Ohio Valley as well today. But yeah, again, likely a brief, strong tornado near Selfridge, North Dakota. I do. Avon Banj. It's not really public, though. So, again, we're going to keep watching this here. Looks like we could have some rotation trying to develop near McKenzie. What's the risk for Friday? Again, Friday is going to be mostly in the Great Lakes region and the Ohio Valley that we're watching. We're talking about central Illinois, northern Indiana, northern Ohio, northwest Pennsylvania, and southeastern Michigan under the gun for severe weather on Friday. Again, today we're in the Dakotas with a pretty big time tornado threat. Again, we did have a brief strong tornado likely. It's confirmed that we had a tornado, but the question is whether or not it was strong. And again, that we can't confirm at this time, but just based on the radar imagery that we have, it looks like it was, in my opinion. So no longer any tornado warnings. But again, this rotation is getting pretty tight near McKenzie. What's up, Sean? Again, I would watch this. I do think that this definitely could get tornado warned very soon. Yeah, I'm not going to pre-rate it, because we don't even really know if it hit anything. It was in an extremely rural area. What was the GTG? What? Oh, gate to gate? Hold on. Let's check it out. So, let's see here. What was the gate to gate? I already answered that. Again, I do have one, but it's not really public. The gate to gate was around 114. Oh, actually, no. Hold on, scratch that. The gate to gate was around 136. We're gonna have a scattered thunderstorm tomorrow. Yeah, that probably means that you'll either get a storm or it will narrowly miss you. That's what a lot of the weather apps mean by scattered thunderstorms. They mean thunderstorms in your area, maybe on you, maybe not. I believe Sean's in Virginia. Just from past experience. Again, I want to see this next velocity scan come in, because I do think that this rotation could be quite tight. Yeah, the channel, especially over the past couple of days, has been doing really well, so I do appreciate that, everybody, obviously. I know I don't say it very often, but I do want to just quickly thank you guys. Oh, as soon as I switched over to reflectivity, velocity's updated. Yeah, we got broad. And the radar is just not wanting to work, so that's cool. Yeah, it would actually be a little bit more than that, too, if you include private videos and deleted videos. Wouldn't be too much higher, though, because I didn't really delete any videos that did super well. Anyway. Why don't you just send me a DM? Okay. Yeah, again, that's more of a private thing. I don't really... Yeah. Possible small hook south McKenzie. Yeah, I did see that. This little guy. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued for parts of South Dakota. Lime-sized hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds, possible tornado. The chasers who are live on Radar Omega are under protected copyright. Don't use it. Okay. I got it. My bad. Yeah, I try not to do that too much, but once in a while I forget. Wow, is this rotation tightening up a little bit north of Britain? That's great. Here's some piano playing in the background now, just don't question it. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. So I sometimes forget. So it looks like we got a hook echo trying to develop here with our Baldwin storm. It's not really rotating though. Again, right now I'm most concerned about this storm in between Britain and McKenzie. We got a velocity couplet, and it looks like a pretty, again, dangerous storm here. Again, we'll see if this gets tornado warned. As of right now, it doesn't even have a severe thunderstorm warning though, so... So again, I'd watch this pretty closely here. This is moving, east. Pretty much due east. A little bit more broad at this point, though. I know, epic background music. So, let's go briefly to our Illinois storm. We haven't really looked at it that much. Again, it's kind of hard to see here. Not great radar coverage, but it's alright. Again, just kind of a typical garden variety severe storm there. Nothing you guys haven't seen before. Can you show the risks for tomorrow again? I just want to look at the Houston area. Yeah. Houston is just in the general thunderstorm. So... there you go. And that's just my mom. So rotation may be trying to pick up again southwest of Britain. Doesn't look that extreme though, quite weak. Again, this, I mean, this is the kind of storm that looks like it would be rotating more than it actually is here near, Baldwin. It's really not rotating that much, but it has quite an impressive hook echo. So, again, that rotation still kind of just chilling there southwest of Sterling. We'll continue to watch it, but it's looking a little bit less concerning at this point. And the Fort Yates area, again, a little bit of rotation left there, so we'll keep watching that. Again, of course, I had to join in right after all the action died down. Again, I just got home, unfortunately, so. But, again, I mean, this could, we could definitely see a couple more tornadoes this evening if any more cells do become discrete, because this is quite a favorable environment. If we take a look at the significant tornado parameter, alright, we can see that it is actually pretty darn high right now. We are talking about a 7 in some spots. And later into this evening, alright, 8 p.m., we're going to be talking about that kind of being, again, a small swath of 5 at this point. And it's going to continue to decrease over the next couple of hours. But again, it was at, you know, around 7, I believe, in the area that, again, saw that brief potential strong tornado. So again, the forecasting for this event by the models has been pretty decent. But, I mean, the NAM is saying, you know, we could have a significant tornado threat all the way through, like, you know, 9 p.m. So we'll see what happens with that. Again, it all depends on how long these cells are going to stay discrete. They're already kind of clustering and merging together. But, anyway. So we got a couple of thunder showers near Austin, Texas, maybe producing some gusty winds. Look at this! You don't see that very often. What's that I see? Come on now, National Weather Service. You have a slight risk. Yeah, again, the Ohio Valley risk will mostly just be for damaging winds, though. We'll go ahead and zoom in on the Ohio Valley here with the HRRR, though. Let's look at the 22Z. By the way, significant tornado parameter according to the 22Z. Again, look at that. They bullseyed that. They had the 4 right over the Fort Yates area, and then look at this. I mean, that's kind of crazy. They're talking about a significant tornado parameter getting very, very high. At around 9 p.m., interestingly enough, it gets up to 11. Again, this was the 22Z. And then it's saying it'll still be pretty high going into 10. That's really not something I think is in the cards, but who knows, honestly. So, anyway, the whole point of me doing that was that we could look at the Ohio Valley, sorry. Let's look at the HRRR. Let's go to 22Z. And let's switch over to the composite reflectivity. So again, we can see some supercells already starting to fire across the Ohio River Valley. Things aren't really going to get that intense, though. I'm going to let you guys know by, 10 p.m., things are done, honestly. I really doubt we're going to see anything severe after 10 p.m. in the Ohio Valley. If we did, it would be in the northeast. Like Pennsylvania or New Jersey, but even that doesn't look like too crazy of a threat, honestly. Again, southern North Dakota, northern South Dakota. That's the bullseye spot right now that we're watching. Wow. So, on the newest velocity scan, things really picking up here near Sterling. Again, this honestly could get a tornado warning. We do have some decently strong velocities here. Yeah, this could produce a tornado soon. That's all just contaminated there, but we'll see what happens. We definitely will. Because this looks pretty concerning, honestly. So again, this is mainly going to stay south of Sterling. It's going to cross Highway 83 here. It's going to be in a very rural area. I mean, we're talking over a lake, an open field. This is a very good spot for something like this to happen, because there's nothing out here. What about the tropics? There's almost nothing going on in the tropics. We do have a couple of disturbances that could turn into tropical storms, but they don't look to make any sort of U.S. impact, per se, so... You know, I may do a little bit of a tropics update at the end of this stream, but right now we gotta focus on this, because this is pretty strong rotation. Okay, this is pushing eastward here. Gonna parallel Interstate 94. I do notice it heading maybe a little bit to the north. If that were to be the case, that could put it in the track of some of these towns along Interstate 94 down the road, but again, still not a super populated area, honestly. I mean, it's North Dakota, what do you expect, but... You can even see a hook with that. Yeah, I don't like the look of this. Wow. Yeah, at this point, this should honestly receive a tornado warning. This is tight and strong rotation here near Sterling, North Dakota. No sort of correlation coefficient drop, but that quite literally could be just because there's absolutely nothing to pick out here. I mean, there's not any homes. There's not even any corn out here because we're over a little lake, it looks like. I mean, this genuinely could be a tornado on the ground right now. Again, if I were the National Weather Service, I would give this a tornado warning immediately. That is pretty concerning. And it's picked up a lot over the past couple of radar scans. Again, I don't like the look at that. That could be a rain-wrapped tornado as well, so don't go outside and try to look for this thing. We need you to get indoors and away from windows immediately. Preferably in an interior room as well. Again, this looks like a tornado to me trying to develop here. Right now, there's really not any other rotations now. But again, that Sterling one, I'm going to watch that like a hawk. Again, that legitimately could have a tornado on the ground as we are speaking right now. That's pretty concerning looking to me. So, since the National Weather Service has not issued a tornado warning, I'm just going to kind of draw out a little polygon here. I would say if you're in this area, this general vicinity, you should be in your safe spot. Again, this is a really rural area, but this is north of Long Lake, south of Driscoll, south of Sterling, north of Moffett. Yeah, it's definitely quite impressive. Again, seek shelter immediately if you're in this area. And yeah, that is really strong. It looks like it's trying to develop a secondary rotation too. Again, I really wish they would issue a tornado warning for this. That looks pretty intense. I'm just being honest. Again, there's no sort of indication that we have debris in the atmosphere as of right now, but again, that could just be because there is nothing, absolutely nothing to pick up. We are in the mountains right now. We are in the mountains of North Dakota. There's no homes out here. There's no businesses. There's not even any cars, really, except for maybe along Highway 83, and that's another thing. This tornado, if it is on the ground, it could be right over Highway 83 south of Sterling, so try to avoid travel in that region. New severe thunderstorm warning as well for portions of Sheridan and Burleigh counties in North Dakota. And another new severe thunderstorm warning as well for portions of New Jersey. Is that the new one? Doesn't look like it. Just ended your stream. I don't know if you see this, but thank you. I don't know if you see this, but we have very strong rotation right now near Sterling, North Dakota. Again, it looks like that could produce a tornado. It could be producing a tornado right now, quite honestly. Again, that's the kind of stuff that we see, and we think maybe we've got some sort of funnel cloud or even tornado on the ground here. You have a friend in New Jersey? Yeah, that severe thunderstorm warning in New Jersey is pretty big. It's for kind of north-central New Jersey. You saw that? You're so mad you didn't stream. It's like that sometimes. But this is for the Edison area in New Jersey for some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, so... Yeah, I don't know why it's not tornado warning. I guess they probably just don't see it. There's a lot to look at right now, but that definitely deserves a tornado warning. So, what's up, Liz? Yeah, again, like I said, there's a little bit of rotation off to the east as well as trying to do maybe a handoff. It looks like the rotation is dying a little bit. Becoming a little bit more broad, but again, I would honestly give this a tornado warning still at this point. Again, it doesn't look like it, but there is a hook echo here as well. It's rain wrapped, and it's honestly going to be extremely hard to tell if there's a tornado with this, radar or otherwise. So again, if there's a tornado, it just crossed over Highway 83, and again, it's going to keep pushing eastward here. This is National Weather Service Bismarck. Boy, am I glad we have this radar site back. I mean, if this radar site was still out, we would not have a live stream, honestly. Everywhere that we're looking at is going to be in the National Weather Service zone of Bismarck. Quite literally. We may have some rotation try to develop southwest of Britain. Again, looks to be a pretty impressive hook there, some broad rotation. Okay, there we go. So, they did go ahead and give this a tornado warning finally, even though the rotation's starting to die out now, for southwestern Kidder and southeastern Burleigh counties in south-central North Dakota. That is for Driscoll and Sterling, portions of Interstate 94. Seek shelter immediately. Yeah, it really was. It really was, Jesse. Thank you. So again, that rotation is broadening out a little bit, but again, this is obviously a tornado warning storm now. You obviously need to seek shelter. There are storm chasers out, but they're all further south. Harvard is calling? I doubt it. I don't know, that'd be pretty awesome. No, but again, I do think that this rotation will persist here for a little bit longer, maybe a little bit on the weaker side of things, but again, we still need to watch this for sure. And now a tornado warning storm here. Third tornado warning of the day, second of the stream. Again, we very well could have had a tornado, especially west of Highway 83 is where it would have happened, I think. Because if you look, I mean, that rotation tightened up a lot. It really did. It got quite strong as well. And again, it's broadening out a little. Just a little. Didn't end up doing that handoff, but... yeah, they were a little slow with the issuance of this tornado warning here. But it's alright. Again, they've got a lot on their plate right now. They've got an enhanced risk, which is not something they normally have in this region, so they're probably not quite used to this. Check out the bottom of the line. New hook and mezzo forming. You talking about this? Or are you talking about this cell? Oh, bottom of the line. Yeah, I do see that. Welcome back. We did have an enhanced risk on Monday, but that was not in North Dakota. Fort Yates. So again, let's keep watching this here. So, yeah, that rotation is getting quite strong. I think even if this doesn't produce a tornado, even if it's not producing a tornado right now, I mean, these are still very strong winds. Look at this. We're measuring wind gusts close to 80 miles per hour. Now, that is a few thousand feet into the atmosphere, of course, but, I mean, that's not super, super high up into the atmosphere. We are pretty close to the radar site. Again, the wind field with this looks like it picked up a lot. I think that this probably will turn into a big-time damaging wind event here. But there is still definitely rotation, again, south of Sterling. So again, seek shelter immediately. I mean, still, if you're traveling in between Moffett and Sterling along Highway 83, you really need to get off, because you could be seeing damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour right now, honestly. It's a very real possibility. Again, look at the evolution of this rotation. It popped up so fast. Wow. Okay, yeah, you need to get to your safe spot immediately if you're out here. We are now measuring wind gusts up to 80 miles per hour here. Again, that's a few thousand feet into the atmosphere, but again, this also has a tornado warning. It's rotating. It could have a tornado at any minute. This is a really dangerous storm, guys. Really dangerous. Look at rotation south of Fort Yates, east of McLaughlin. You're good. Yeah, again, that does look quite impressive, but it could just be because there's not great radar coverage out here. We are looking several thousand feet up into the atmosphere, but we will watch that. Again, this little storm here did produce a tornado earlier, so obviously we have to look out for it. But so let's see here. What's the spectrum width showing? I don't think it is. I don't think that's a correlation coefficient drop. It honestly could be. We'll see. I don't think it is, though. I think it's contaminated. Again, I mean, it's a possibility. But it doesn't look too certain, honestly. Alright, see you. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yep. Just some contamination. Wow, that rotation a lot weaker now. Okay. We'll still watch it. Again, it's re-strengthened a couple of times now, but wow, look at this. Again, Wakpala. This area rotation looks quite strong. Again, we're looking very high up into the atmosphere, though, for this, so take that all with a grain of salt. Alright, see ya. Have a great rest of your night. Alrighty. Yeah, just me and you, it looks like. Looks like we have a couple other people watching, but again, I do think that this could be a pretty good time frame, maybe for a couple more tornadoes here. I wouldn't rule it out. Let's briefly go back to our Illinois storm. Yeah, it's just, again, a garden variety storm. I will say the most impressive thing about it would probably be the lightning, honestly, or the heavy rain. Yeah. And the New Jersey storm here, not looking too impressive, honestly, at this point. I think they could definitely let that severe thunderstorm warning go. Remove it. Yeah, the rotation just doesn't look that crazy. To be honest, the severe weather threat verified for all hazards good on the SPC. Yeah, I mean, this was a really good outlook, really good last minute update to an enhanced risk. Very smart issuance of the tornado watch. Again, even if that's the only tornado we see today, I mean, they still did a good job. They had the tornado, they had the enhanced risk over the tornado. They had it in the tornado watch. They had it in the 5%. I mean, they did a really good job with that placement. Again, models have been doing well too. So just all around been a interesting but somewhat easy event to forecast, looks like, by most of the major conglomerates here. So again, tornado warning remains in effect until 7:30 p.m. Central for portions of Kidder and Burleigh counties in south central North Dakota. Somewhere looks like a messy mode and can't rule out a QLCS. The threat for tornadoes. I don't know. It looks mostly like a damaging wind event to me. They may have a hatch risk for damaging winds in Minnesota, a small one. But yeah, I wouldn't rule out an isolated brief tornado. Not going to be anything like today, though. And then Friday, the tornado threat will be down a ton. If we see a tornado on Friday, I'd be a little shocked. I'll be honest, unless major forecasting details change here within the next couple of days. Yeah, this rotation is done. Still going to see some damaging winds, but that's dying out pretty fast. Stay in your safe spot just in case, but... Yeah, I know. I was just saying I don't think that tornadoes are really going to be in the cards. By the way, a ton of Michigan still without power after yesterday's derecho / damaging wind event. So again, still got over 70 million people facing at least a marginal threat of severe weather here. So we're going to keep watching it all for everybody. At least for a little bit. See on this next velocity scan what things are looking like. Very disorganized. Again, I would be very surprised if we saw a tornado with this at this point. I'm still not convinced that we didn't have a tornado earlier. Especially around Highway 83. Like this, you don't get this strong a rotation very often without having a tornado. I don't think it'll go destructive. What in the world? So we have a new tornado warning now for our South Dakota storm. Wow. I was not expecting that, I'm going to be honest with you. So fourth tornado warning of the night, I believe. Go and update the severe warning counter while we're here, too. That is quite shocking, I'll be honest with you. So they went ahead and tornado warned that. So if you're on the north side of Wakpala, seek shelter immediately. This, again, is an open field. There's nothing out here. Yeah, I don't know if I'm convinced that that necessarily deserved a tornado warning, though. No reports or anything. keep watching everything here. Alrighty. Welcome back, Jesse. Again, 2 tornado warnings now, neither of which are looking very impressive, though, to be honest. Again, I'm a little more concerned about our South Dakota one here, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. Again, just get to your safe spot, you'll be fine. It's going to get loud for a little bit with hail, lightning, tornado sirens potentially, but probably don't even have any sirens out here, but yeah. Shouldn't be anything too crazy. Again, Waukpal is technically not in this. The north side of town is. And this is a very small community anyway, so. Look at this. They have a First Avenue, First Street. They don't have any second avenues or second streets. That's how small it is. Oh, I gotta stop doing that. The evolution of this rotation is quite interesting. So let's go back out towards New Jersey. And honestly, I don't know why they're keeping this severe thunderstorm warning at this point. Maybe some isolated damaging winds. Oh, I hadn't looked at velocities. I guess I probably should have done that before I started saying things about this storm. Yeah, I mean, probably some 60-mile-an-hour winds right now ripping through Montgomery Township, points southeastward. Looks like we have some strong storms in Maryland right now, in western Maryland. One of those could go strong to severe. Be a special weather statement or something. And then again, our Illinois storm going to continue to travel northeastward here. It's heading towards Nashville, Irvington, Davis Tires. What? Davis Tires. I mean, I'm going to assume that you mean something else. I don't understand. Davis Tires to try to be tried. What? I'm so confused. It's really going to be 3 supercells that we watch for the rest of the night, I think. It's going to be this one, along the Dakotas border, the one near Bismarck, and the one north of Bismarck. And again, we have some thunderstorms northwest of there. Not looking too impressive, though, honestly. Maybe a little bit of rotation trying to get going near Voltaire, honestly. Yeah, honestly, at this point, I know we have 2 tornado warnings, but I might honestly end off here. And Brandon Kopic, Corey Gherkin, and Connor Croft all on this little storm here. Not so little of a storm, I'll be honest. It is looking like it's, wrapping up a little bit here with its Oak Echo, so we'll continue to watch here for a little bit, but in probably a few more minutes, if it doesn't do anything, we'll kind of hop off. So hashtag tornado is trending. Wow, so there was actually a brief tornado earlier today near Keystone, it was near Trinity, Florida. Very weak, very brief tornado, very hard to see, very skinny. But there we go. That's crazy. Wow, so I'm seeing a video here of the Selfridge tornado. It was a large cone. That's pretty concerning. I do not play Outbreak. I need to start, though. Yeah, I think so. I definitely do think it could do something. Alright, new severe thunderstorm warning now. It's an extension for South Dakota storm. Lime-sized hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds, tornado possible. If you're in that area, make sure you are moving indoors and away from windows immediately. That's for Herod and Pollock. Alrighty. Give me just a second, I'll get back to chat here. I am tired of seeing fake max velocity. Alright, so since these storms aren't... Okay. They extended the tornado warning for our North Dakota storm here. I'm just going to end off stream here. These storms honestly don't look like they're doing much. I don't know why they extended this tornado warning. This is very broad rotation. Very broad. So anyway, I think we're going to end off the stream here. I do want to thank you all for tuning in. We will be back live later tonight if necessary. But for right now, I want to thank you all for tuning in. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.